everyone, Becky here and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. Today we are going to be doing something a little DIY. It's not sewing, but it is something that I think pretty much anybody could use and anybody can do. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be making a gift bag out of wrapping paper. Now with Christmas coming up, I know there's going to be a lot of gifts you're going to be wrapping, and there's always at least one that you're like, how do I wrap this? You know, especially now they don't put a lot of things in boxes, or it's like a half box, you know, like kids' toys, they just have a bottom and then it's the plastic toy and things poke through, and it just is not pretty to wrap and it's really hard. So what you can do is you can make your own bag. Now you also could go out and buy a bag, but if you already have the wrapping paper, this is really quick and easy, like I said, and sometimes bags are awkward and aren't the right shape either. So with this method, you can make pretty much any size bag you want. You may be limited on your wrapping paper size, but you always could tape together a couple pieces of wrapping paper if you have like a ginormous present. But you only need a couple materials, and other than that, let's get started. So to get started here, we're just going to talk about the supplies you need, and it's really not much different than if you were wrapping an actual present. So I have my wrapping paper. Now for this, the heavier duty the wrapping paper, the better. You can make do with lightweight, but you just want to be a little bit careful if you do have something that is more heavy and your wrapping paper is kind of thin. This is a kind of more thin one, but they will all work. Just use caution with your weight of wrapping paper and the weight of your gift. And then you're going to need tape, scissors, and you're going to need a ribbon or some sort of string. This is like a gold rope, and I have gold specks in here. You could use a regular like gift wrap ribbon. I've seen people use tulle to make a big handle. You can get really creative with it. You can use a pretty ribbon, burlap, whatever you want, but you're going to need some sort of string. And I guess you could get away without it. You would just need to tape the top shut, but the ribbon just makes it extra pretty. And then you're going to want a hole punch. Again, you could make do without it, but it's just going to be a lot neater if you do have a hole punch. And then preferably you're going to have the item you're going to wrap. So I'm going to pretend this is just a cup, but you can see here it's kind of weird shaped and whatever. This is just what I grabbed. Preferably you're going to want the item that you are going to be wrapping. So to start out, we are just going to roll out our wrapping paper and lay your gift on it, and you want to kind of, I'm going to cut off this. And so what you want to do is you want to lay your item on top, and you want to just kind of measure like you would for wrapping your present. The only thing is you do want to add like 2, maybe 3 inches up at the top of extra height. So this comes out, if I was doing it, you want a little bit overlap over here. So I'm going to cut mine there and down here. And you can always err on the side of too big, and you can make it smaller than if needed. But obviously, if you make it too small to start out, then you're just going to have to start over. So, you have your piece, and now we're going to set aside our roll of wrapping paper, and we can set our gift aside, and we are just going to bring our 2 side pieces here. I'm going to turn it back this way so it doesn't get confusing here. So this is our sides of the bags, are these folded sides there, and that helps hold it down. So then we're just going to take our tape, and you want to overlap this a little bit. I have about 1.5 inches, 2 inches of overlap. You just want enough, so like here's my gift. You can see there's some extra room on the side so that I can easily slide this in and out. So I am going to tape up towards the top as well. And then down towards the bottom. And now what you want to do is you want to decide on how big your bottom is going to be. And I am just going to do, this is about, I don't know, 5 to 6 inches. And you kind of want to think about how wide the base of you need for your item. And I'm just going to trim my bottom up a little bit to make it nice and straight and even. It doesn't matter too much because you won't really see it. But I have it folded here. But once you do that, you're going to just hold it up and you're going to push in on these sides here and fold it in like that. And you can see how this is making triangles. So you just want to get those laying nice like that. Push these sides down nice and smooth. And then we're going to take the top of our triangle and fold it towards the middle. Press that down, and then we're going to take this piece. And again, you want it to be as straight as you can. And when you fold this down, you want it to overlap. So you can see here, this triangle, the fold, forms the bottom of our bag. So now I'm just going to take a piece of tape, put a tape there, and I'm also going to tape down, so that tape got messed up, but tape down this triangle like so. And here is a little bit of a close-up there. And then it folds open and you have a flap just like you would on a bag. So then, if I come in here and open it, I have a nice flat bottom of a bag. And then I can just slide my item in there. And so you can see here is the top of my cup. So I do have some extra right here. And like I said, you can always trim it down once you're done. I do like mine to be a little bit taller. So I'm going to just fold it up where I think it lays nicely. So the top of my item is about here. But you can see how much extra I have at the back. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to now trim this across, leaving about 2 inches there, and trim across so that that is nice and even, like so. And then what you're going to do is, oh, see, that's not even straight. So make sure you fold it straight. Straighten that out. And then you're going to just take your hole punch, and in the middle, I like to do 2 spots. So I'm going to find the middle and go about an inch there and about an inch or so apart from each other, and put my hole punches in. And then we are going to take our ribbon or a rope or whatever it is you have and slide it starting in the front. I'm going to trim my end so it's easier to get in. Starting from the front, you're just going to push your ribbon through. So it's now coming through the back. You can see my flap there. So now I'm going to just push it back through to the front. And then now here you can just kind of play with it however you want. If you wanted to just cut it and tie it in a knot and let it hang down, you could tie it in a bow and make a pretty bow. You could just like staple it if you didn't have it, a hole punch or a ribbon, and then you could add a bow onto it. You know, just those sticky ones if you had something like that. You could go on the back and you could just close it with a label, I don't know what they're called, but the ones that say like to and from. The other thing that I have seen is if you're doing this, you're going to definitely want heavier paper, and you're going to want a thicker ribbon, or I've seen it really pretty with like a tool that they kind of bunch up and they just cut it like 5 inches wide and they bunch it up in there. But you make it real long, and you leave a loop here, and then you tie it off here, and then when you pull it up, it creates handles, and then it is like a real bag, which is another great option. All right, so once you decide on whatever method you're going to use to close it up, you are done, and you now have a really cute bag. And like I said, super quick, super easy, and it gets easier the more you do. And I think I might be doing all of my presents in these little DIY gift bags, unless they're a box. Then I would just wrap them like normal. But if they are anything besides a straight, plain, square, rectangle, cube, they're getting a bag. And this is also great because you can coordinate your presents a little bit more. So I hope that you found this helpful, and I definitely hope that you make some of these bags. I would love to see some of yours if you do give this a shot. I am on Instagram. It's at Sewbexx. It's SEWBEXX. And if you post any of your little bags that you make, definitely give me a tag. And the other thing is they don't have to be Christmas. You can do this for birthdays. I even like making like little ones for gift cards and things like that. It just, instead of just a plain gift card box, it adds a little bit of extra character. You could put cookies and things like that in these bags as well. Again, just be mindful of what you're putting in it, to the weight of your paper, and then how you're like carrying it. If you're using thin paper like this paper, I would not put anything with any sharp corners or any heavy weight in it because it is extremely thin and fragile. But there is some really, really nice thick heavyweight paper that you should be able to use any items pretty much without any issues. Thanks for watching. Bye.